one by one. You take them out and you put them on the filter paper, and that kind of absorbs the superficial liquid. And then before you put them on, make sure you do the cyclomethicone brushing on all the areas where you're going to be applying these plugs. So cyclomethicone again is going to give you some protection against migration of the bestine, which contains also a little bit of ethanol, so it'll prevent also the dissolution of the colors, at least, right? Which is nice to have that protection, right? So I'm going to do this whole area with cyclomethicone, which you can apply liberally, and it will prevent formation of tide marks from the bestine plugs. So here's a bestine plug. You're going to put it here. And you keep going this way, right? I'm not going to show the whole thing, but you know, you get the idea, right? You put them on where they're needed. And after you do that on all of them, what I'm going to do is take a sheet, a plastic sheet, place it on top of everything, and put very lightweight on top, and just give it time to incubate, and that will take care of removing some of that tanning that you see on this book. Old glue tanning, right? That is difficult to remove. All right, so hold on for a second. I'll show you how it looks once I'm done with adding all the gels. So I have the plastic sheet on top of the agar plugs so they don't dry out. And just make sure everything is nicely covered and in place. And then what you do is you place some weight on top of them so they stay in place, right? And weight of a ruler is fine, you don't need much. There, that's it. And then I'll leave them for, I'm gonna look at them in another hour and check them out, right? And let it dry fully before I can assess them. Okay, so it's been about over an hour now already, and I'm gonna check it out. You see the staining that comes off with the plug? This is all stain. So it does absorb a lot of the stain here, as you can see. And the cyclomethicone is still there, hasn't evaporated yet. You can still see some of it here. And I'll show you the staining in a second. Once I take these off in their entirety, I'll be able to show you. Pretty stained. Hey everyone, so this is as best as I can get this wrap. It's just some of these stains are really very stubborn, and I couldn't remove them really, you know. But in general, the colors are gonna be as best as I can get them. But overall, it's so much better You can see down here all the glue is gone and it's nice and consistent in color for the most part. This is going to be covered anyways with pulp at some point. Some of it, right? Not all of it, but some of it will be covered with pulp. And these strips, of course, will be fixed with pulp. So this book has been treated with essentially Bestine and with calcium hydroxide water bath. And these cyclomethicone Bestine combinations, I think, is what we're seeing here. These tight lines is what we're seeing there from that treatment. So there is a couple of cautionary tales I want to say about the Agar-Gels. First is when you are making them, there may be at the very end a small amount of ethyl alcohol left in the Agar-Gels alongside the Bestine. So when you are using them on a colored cover, you might get some color bleeds in association with that. And you can see it, at least in my case, on this side here. So even though I use cyclomethicone, the color bleeds were sometimes not avoidable in their entirety. And you see them here also on the back of this cover. They bled from the back of the cover to the front, and you see them marginally here and some here. So that's number one. The second thing I wanted to mention is the use of the cyclopentasiloxane D5. The D5 solution is a must to use on a dry cover. So don't wet it ahead of time, keep it dry. So the process goes like this, right? You brush the cyclomethicone in the area you want to treat. Excuse me. You place the plugs on. You place a sheet of plastic over the plugs. You place a small weight on the top, like a ruler would be fine, like I've been using, right? Just like take a ruler and put it on top, just to keep the agar side flush with the paper. Then after you finish with the Agar-Gels, you take them off, set them to the side, discard them. You're going to notice that some of the Agar-Gels have a color to them, because that color is lifting from the book, from the glue. And then wait for the cyclomethicone to completely dry before you do the Bestine bath. After you do the Bestine bath, you take them out, dry them, and then do the calcium hydroxide water bath. Minimal, again, exposure, right? Dry them overnight, right, flat, and then assess them when they're dry. And that's what I did with these, right? These are fully done now. All I need to do now is, a final step would be leaf casting. All that treatment has taken a toll on these pages, but I'm going to do leaf casting on this, and I'll show you my leaf casting when I'm done with it. I'm not going to show it on camera. I just don't like to work on camera with leaf casting. So I'm going to do the leaf casting on the interior of this book and on the splash page of Wonder Woman, and I'll show you the results at the very end, the before and after. Yeah, so thank you for watching, and this is hopefully some of you will try it and let me know how it came out, right?